Hey everybody, it's Kim here, and I would like to introduce my new project, my new business, Healthy Clarity by Kimberly J, or Healthy Clarity by Kimberly Jarena. And in my introduction of this new direction and excitedness, I want to talk about where did it come from, what's going on, all that kind of good stuff. So this is not the 536 show. This is separate. I actually meant to go live on Healthy Clarity, but I have to wait 60 days according to Facebook. So I'm just going to do it here. So let me go back a little bit. So quite a few of you know that I finished my holistic life coach certificate training program. This is step one in some things that I'm trying to do. So I'm going to go through the entire certification process, but this is step one in that process. I did it with Edgar Cayce's ARE, the Edgar Cayce Center. And so while we were going through training and actually coaching each other in the class, I had said a whole lot of things in what seemed like just a stream of consciousness. And one of my classmates said to me, hey, healthy clarity is not something that's out there. I was just saying it to put the things that I'm doing together. The being healthy, drinking healthy, eating healthy, using healthy products on my skin. I was saying that with numerology, astrology, and all the things that I'm into. And just wanting to put them all together. And so that's really what Healthy Clarity is. And so Healthy Clarity by Kimberly J, it officially launched yesterday. And I want to give a few shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Sam and Amanda. They had a Women's History Month event in March. And at that event, one of the attendees of the event, I told her what I wanted to do, and she said, you just need to get the business name out there. So for anyone, I know I've had one of these before where I said, do it scared, do it scared. Well, the other part of that would be just get it out there. So I am working my way to LLC, all that kind of good stuff. But she said, just get that business name out there. Go ahead and have a website. Go ahead and have some things with that on it. And so my launching of Healthy Clarity is the first time that I'm able to really get the name out there that this is me, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm doing it. So, Healthy Clarity is of course being birthed in this year. Since this is not the 536 show, I'm not going to go into separate products, but I am going to do more of what Healthy Clarity is about. So yes, Healthy Clarity is about healthy decisions. When it comes to health and wellness, it's also about clarity in the things that are going on around you. So I really want to spend some time talking about Healthy Clarity itself, and the way to give an example of, if you decide that you want to work with me in the realm or in the area of gaining clarity in your own life, I would like to give you an example of what that might look like. And so I am a certified Astro-Numerologist. So that means that I use all of those things together to look at life, to look at business, to look at all those different things. And I do it through 3 to 4 different ways, but I'm going to actually, I decided to use myself as an example. So Healthy Clarity as a business was birthed yesterday. And so everything has a birthday, everything has a time. And so keeping that in mind, I will go over that to give you all an example of, if you decide to have a session with me, what it might look like. So the first part of a session is your life purpose number. The life purpose number comes from your birthday. So in the area of Healthy Clarity, the birthday was yesterday. So for April 19th, the 19th day of the month, 2025. And so for the kind of Astro-Numerology that I do, the Gregorian calendar does matter. So Happy New Year on the 1st does matter for what it is that I am doing, for example, and for staying present in what I do. So That life purpose number of the 19th, 2025 would be a 23. So you add all the numbers going across. 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is a 23. 2 plus 3 equals 5. That is the royal star of the lion number. It is a creative number. It is a generous number. It is, fives are all about change and all about freedom, all about getting things done. A 23, it's receiving, it's creative, so it's all about the mind and intelligence. When it comes to what are you receiving, you're receiving through the mind. You're thinking of great thoughts, or you're thinking of these big visionary ideas. It's all those kinds of things. And so I'm already thinking, okay, if that is the purpose, which it is, the purpose of healthy clarity is for mindfulness and for the mind to be a big part of the business. So that's the life purpose number. And then some of the things to be careful about, I always give the shadow side when you're trying to be careful. Be careful about temper, impatience, self-centeredness, and being patronizing. And so I think of that. So like I said, I'm doing this for my own business. So I'm thinking, okay, how do I make sure that my business is about helping others and being other focused and not so much on myself to the point of self-centeredness and patronizing of others. Hey, LaTanya, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so that's one. So the first part is there are 3 numbers in your big 3. So like I said, if you book with me, I will tell you your big 3, your life path and purpose, your day of month number, which really gives your natural disposition of who you are when you're sitting around with people. That's the first thing they see. And then the third one is your destiny number, which are all the numbers that go with your name. So now I'm going to go to the day of the month. So Healthy Clarity was launched yesterday, which was the 19th. So the 19th of the month would be 1 plus 9, which equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1, right? So that is a 1. And so when it comes to the 19th, though, we would look at the big number first in the realm of numerology that I am certified in. 19 is the Prince of Heaven number. It is a number of initiation with that 1 and a number of wisdom with that 9. In numerology, the numbers go from 1 to 9 and then they go back to 1. And so this number is all about standing on your own 2 feet, being yourself, believing in yourself, and being your own sun, S-U-N, right? Being your own sun. I think about that today with all the things that are going on as far as religious holidays with S-O-N. So I think about that. So destiny number, that third piece of the building block, the destiny number, this number is all about I call it the vehicle, how you're getting your life path and purpose might be that 23-5, like I said earlier, all about change, freedom, ideas, but you're gonna execute that and do that through some sort of vehicle of some sort. So that's your destiny number. Your destiny number is your natural vehicle through how your purpose is gonna come through in life. And for healthy clarity, just looking at healthy clarity and not the by Kimberly J or by Kimberly Jarena, I'll talk about that later. That is a 68, which is 6 plus 8 is 14, 1 plus 4 is 5. So that's how you get those numbers like that. So a destiny number of a 68 is all about proclaiming your message. That's something I definitely want to do in this business. I want to proclaim my message. I want to connect with others. I want to exhibit and be an example of compassionate leadership. That's also what I've been working on the last couple of years in the military as I get ready to exit the uniform, but service continues, right? So this business is all about the continuance of service. So I proclaim all that. So that's the big 3 when it comes to numerology. And like I said, you can book with me like, hey, I just want to know what my big 3 are. Big 3, your life path and purpose based on your birthday. Your day of month number, which is literally based on if you were born on the 30th, the 3 plus 0, that's your day of the month number. Then your destiny number is your full name at birth. Your full name at birth and or your birth certificate name, which sometimes these are different. So what name is on your birth certificate? Those 3 make up the beginning of what I would say is your profile, who you are, right? The second part of that is the astrology part. So the astrology part is it's looking at astrology, but through the lens of numerology. Okay, so it's really looking at those numbers that are behind all the different signs, all the different glyphs, all that kind of stuff. And so the big 3 in astrology is your sun, your moon, your rising. So sun is all about your character. Ego is how you shine yourself out, how you shine your personal light out in the world. I look at the archetypes and the psychology when it comes to astrology as well as numerology. So your sun, So the sun for healthy clarity. So this is based on, like, everyone has a birthday. So on your birthday, at that time, at that exact time, even though yesterday, let me drink some of this. This is some Arbonne. Yesterday, the sun moved into Taurus. The sun cannot be two places at once, okay? The sun moved into Taurus. However, I started my business maybe 30 minutes before that, and I did not do that on purpose. In fact, I didn't figure that out till today. I started my business about 30 minutes before the sun moved into Taurus. So what does that mean? That means that the sun was 29 degrees of Aries in the 8th house. So I'm very interested to know how that's going to go in the 8th house. 8th house is all about other people's money. It's also about inheritance, ancestry, ancestors, all that kind of stuff. Multiple things like that go on in the 8th house. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry about that. So what I would be looking at is that number, that 29. I'm going to come back to it, but I'll quickly say 29 is a highly intuitive number, and it's where you're learning to see the gifts within yourself. 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 is a master number. 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's all those 29, 11, and 2. All of those make up that code. So when it comes to that sun, I'm going to come back to that because there's some correlations that go with that. The moon. The moon of when I started this business, the moon was in 15 degrees of Capricorn in the 5th house. The 5th house is the house of creativity, the house of children or your creative babies, whatever your creative babies are, that's the house of that. Fun, it could be the house of sex as well, all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to creativity for me is extremely important, and being able to express myself in a creative way is extremely important. I actually talked about 15. I wrote about it earlier because today, the day that I'm writing all these notes, is the 20th, 420. Some people, 420, smoke, whatever it is you're doing on 420, right? So, because I'm not doing any of that, I'm not out of uniform yet. So 420, but 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is a 15, right? Which is a 6. 15 is the spiritual alchemist number. So if you're born on the 15th of any month and you're watching these numbers actually all apply to you as well. 15 is a spiritual alchemist number. It's all about magnetism, enchantment through any artistic medium. Artistic mediums such as music, drama, art, charisma, flair. Like I said, any of those things, those are all important to me. 15 is able to attract prosperity and people who help with gifts and favors. I always say apply some gratitude with that. If you are, if people with gifts and favors are coming into your life, you're going to apply gratitude. Your mission is to uplift others by blessing them with happiness. Not afraid of working to make goals a reality. Which I love because, like I said, this moon that I'm talking about is that 15 degrees is in Capricorn. Capricorn is all about working things one step at a time, bringing things into reality. This number is all about perseverance, strong will, and strong conviction. The shadow of it is, and the shadow can be when you're tired, hungry, all that kind of stuff. The shadow of it is when you're out of alignment. Step on others' toes, can be nosy, a busybody. Sacrifice own needs by helping others or through indecision. And so even as I've said, like, these are the numbers for my own business. I want to help others, but I don't want to help others at the total sacrifice of myself. So I want to be able to still take care of myself as well as take care of others, have enough energy for both, right? And then focus, and then the advice is focus your attention on the highest good for all, including yourself. The highest good for all, including yourself. So that's the moon. So the moon is all about emotions, the internal self, what you might be feeling, how you nurture yourself. And so that's at 15 degrees. So like I said, I'm looking at, hey, what happened when I set up my business? These are things that were happening. And then the rising sign is the first house, the house of self. That happened to be in Virgo. And so I love that too, because I like the idea that there's going to be some hardworking, service-oriented energy in my business. It's at 9 degrees. 9 is a humanitarian number. It's about endings and completions, but it's also about wisdom, taking care of others, doing all that kind of stuff. So compassionate humanitarian, loves unconditionally, because a 9 has learned everything from the 1 through the 9. So if you're a 9, if 9 is your date of birth and 9 is your life path, you're a natural humanitarian. You also know how to detach. I love the 9s that are in my life. Share love in all you do. Be the example. Be a wise leader, sensitive and forgiving. So those are the, like, if I'm just looking at, hey, what are the big 3 of my business, of the things that I want, without me having to have totally planned. I felt the need to go ahead and launch the day I launched. And then I went back and looked to see, hey, what happened when I decided, oh, it was time to launch this business. Then I looked and said, okay, this makes total sense, because I want my business to be a business where I'm helping others and I am serving in some sort of way, right? And so, like I said, if you book with me and we have a session, I'll go over your big 3. So your life path, your day of month, which is your natural disposition, and your destiny number, which is how you have your purpose in the world. And then on top of that, if you do the astrology part, like I said, we're going to look through the lens of numerology, but we're going to look at your sun, your moon, your rising, and then we're going to look across the whole chart, across your numbers, to see where the correlations are. I'll give you an example of that and using me in my own case. So I'm going to do 3 sets of correlations, which is way deeper than you all are going to be interested in knowing. But like I said, the healthy clarity destiny number is a 68. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. Well, my own destiny number, so my destiny number, the name on my birth certificate name, the number that it equates to is a 77, 14, 5. So 5s are important to me. 5s are all about change, freedom, exploration, curiosity, the freedom to be curious. You know, some of us didn't feel free to be curious or ask questions. The freedom to be curious, networking, sales, movement, all that kind of stuff. So that's all about a 5. So if you are a 5 and you're watching this and you're like, I want to be creative, or I want to ask questions and I feel stifled, move that block out the way is what I would tell you. Move that block out the way. So as I looked at my business and I looked at my own correlations between my destiny number and Healthy Clarity's destiny number, both of our numbers equal 5, right? And then I can look at the life path and purpose of Healthy Clarity. It's a 23, which equals a 5, which once again goes with the destiny numbers of both. And then this is when I start looking at the chart. So like I said, if we're working together, I'll also look at your chart. So if we're working together and I'm looking across, I'm like, where are all the 5s? And any of the numbers that equal 5, from 14 to 23, and we can go up from there. So in Healthy Clarity, Chiron, which is the area of healing, which is what I also want my business to be about, that's in a 23, which is a 5, that royal star of the lion. It's in the 8th house, so other people's money, but it's also inheritances, ancestry, all that kind of good stuff. That's all that stuff is in there. Me, myself, I have Saturn, which is all about limits, but discipline. I'm really big on discipline, self-discipline, self-mastery. It's conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter is all about expansion, leadership, philosophy, learning, all that kind of stuff. That's also at 5 degrees for me in my own personal chart. In the 11th house of hopes, wishes, dreams, community. And I want to be able to serve community. So all my 5s are pointing to taking care of others, serving community, being curious. And then every house has an opposite polarity. So that's in the 11th house. So actually, that's not that one. So yeah, that's in the 11th house. But my Lilith, which is, I call her my stroke of feminine rebelliousness. That's what I call her. So she's at 23. 2 plus 3 is a 5. And, that also goes in my life path and purpose of Healthy Clarity. She's in the 1st house. That means that I naturally walk around in that way. Hey, I naturally walk around. Oh, you say hey to Jebba. Hey, Jebba. So I naturally walk around in that way. So that's just an example of what the correlations may look like. These correlations keep going. I'm not going to go deep into them because, they're not personalized to any of you. They're personalized to me and my business. But I wanted to share them because, like I said, I will be doing the correlations for you as well. Now, the other thing when it comes to, I also do business numerology. And of course, I did the business numerology of my own business. And so I looked at 3 different names, which is how I'm trained to do it. And so in business numerology, all you're looking for is a fortunate name or a challenging name. A fortunate name is your business and whatever. It doesn't have to be a business. It could be, let's say you have a different go by name and you're like, does this go by name bring me blessings or is it bringing me challenges? Right. So that's the analysis of that name. And it's through a different, there's Chaldean numerology. There's Pythagorean numerology. So this one uses Chaldean numerology for the current name. Everything else uses Pythagorean numerology. That's probably way deeper than y'all want to know, but I like to let you know if you are into all the number systems and all that kind of good stuff. So for for healthy clarity, if I just look at healthy clarity alone, without anything added, no buy anything, or just healthy clarity, it actually comes up to a 12. 1 plus 2 is a 3. That's actually not a fortunate number. So even I was surprised as I didn't look ahead. And it says that basically it could be inviting obstacles, slowdowns, progress, all that kind of stuff. However, I did not launch my business as healthy clarity alone. So even if I was giving you this advice, I would ask, well, what is your forward-facing name? And or for your business, what is on, let's say, your business checks or your business account, or how do you sign for your business, right? So this is already telling me that I actually launched my business as Healthy Clarity by Kimberly Jarena, but I also launched it as Healthy Clarity by Kimberly J. The spelling does matter. So when I looked at Healthy Clarity by Kimberly J, that came up to a 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. When I did Healthy Clarity by Kimberly Jarena, that came up to a 77, a 14, and a 5. I've already talked to you guys about how important 77 is, the 14 and the 5, how important the 5 is. So that's already given me a nudge that if I really want to go forward, I can pick between both numbers. Both of these numbers are fortunate numbers. They are positive numbers. Fortunate numbers just means it's going to be easy to overcome obstacles, all that kind of stuff. Both of the numbers are fortunate. And both of the names are fortunate. So I could use either one, but really I should pick one, because even as I'm trained in this, one will actually, kind of like, singulate. I don't want to say singulate. That's not the right word, but concentrate the power and energy in one place instead of putting it in all dissipating it, right? You don't want to dissipate it. And so I already put it out on my page as Healthy Clarity by Kimberly Jarena. And so that's what it's going to be. And I'm glad that I did that, because as I looked, I said, okay, that makes perfect sense. So like I said, then the last part is I like to do cycles, and I like to say, hey, what year is someone in right now and what year are they going to? And so for that one, I'll give you guys an example. So like I said, the 4/19/2025, so the business launched yesterday in the year 2025 was the 19th. That's a 23/5. So it's a 5 personal year for my business. Even your business, your marriage, whatever it is, it will have a personal year number, right? And I can help you with that if you're like, what is it? And so next year, 2026, it'll be a 24/6 on the anniversary of my business. The year after that, in 2027, it'll be a 25/7 on the anniversary of my business. So let me tell you a little bit about a 5. So I'm in a 5. Well, there's a lot of 5s going on this whole thing. So it's good for me to read. 5 is a pivot point, decisions, risk, opportunity, and surprises. So it's telling me I'm going to have a year of that. A year of make these quick decisions. Be ready for the surprise. I'm still trying to get over this cold, y'all. A 5 personal year is all about change, movement, adventure, choices, expect the unexpected, make quick decisions, travel, be open to new ideas. And I'm, of course, 100% open to new ideas as I am new in this endeavor. Take a chance. Freedom. Does it give me freedom or does it make me shackled? That's a question I ask myself regularly to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. Let's see, big shift in the middle of a 9-year cycle. My business didn't start until the 5 years. So even with that, I'm going to know that I'm going to make a lot of decisions that are going to inform the 9-year cycle to come. The shadow side, guarding and scattered energy. Like I kind of said, I don't want to have scattered energy here. And that scattered energy could be using more than one name for the business, or not being clear on this is the direction and the mission of this business. So hopefully those that are launching out, you also have a mission and direction of your business. Those things can scatter your business and scatter your energy when you're doing stuff. Guard against multitasking, not following through. Even me, I'm big on, I call it mindful self-discipline, being masterful with myself as the craft. So I need to make sure that I'm doing all the things that I need to do. Guard against restlessness and impatience. I'm going to have to be patient with myself. This is my first time doing this, really setting out into the deep like this as I get ready to transition from active duty service in the Air Force to being out there on my own, right? And seeing what that's going to be like. And I'm not going to say I'm not on my own. I have plenty of people here that are helping me and then part of my circle. So I'm not on my own, but launching out into the deep. So here's some advice. And this advice comes from the person that I'm certified through, Tanya Gabrielle. So here's some advice for those that are listening and maybe trying to figure out, am I launching into the deep? And or would I like Kim to help me with some things? So embrace change as a constant in your life. Freedom is the key word for you this cycle. Be as flexible as possible. The element of movement is very strong. Abundance responds to fast action. You are transforming your life by taking a risk that takes you beyond your wildest dreams. I don't even think I've had the dreams of what this might be. So we're definitely in the beyond your wildest dreams moments. You'll be faced with many large and small decisions. Make them quickly so your energy does not stagnate. You don't want your energy to stagnate in a 5. You also don't want it to dissipate, both. No stagnation, no dissipation. Be purposeful, be intentional, be about that business, okay? Travel to unknown realms physically and mentally. Welcome all breakthroughs, all of this is a breakthrough. The fact that we're doing this right now is a breakthrough. Connect with others and share your ideas. And that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do a lot more of sharing my ideas and sharing how I believe astrology and numerology can be helpful to you. And if you're like, Kim, how did you get into this? It really started in about 2019, before COVID, and definitely throughout COVID really solidified, hey, this was going to be my practice. It's something I do daily. I journal daily. I was writing down the days. There's a Psalm 90:12, teach us a number of days so that we may lend our hearts to wisdom. I was learning that I literally had to write down each single day and say, okay, today I am here. Why? Because I was too far in the future, which was giving me anxiety, and I was too far in the past, which is keeping me feeling stuck. But I had to write every single day. Today is this day. I'm right here. I'm right now. And that's when I started getting to the number of each day. It was to help me stay intentional. Oh, and I'm not done. We're not done. There's going to be some things that are going to come out with this Healthy Clarity business as I move forward into being the clarity dealer. So I want to thank you all for watching. As well, hey, this is the launch of Healthy Clarity. So thank you all for watching. Let me know if I can help you. I love doing these on birthdays. It could be anniversaries too, birthdays, anniversaries, or whenever you have questions about, hey, what kinds of things. Really, these answers are coming from inside of you. A lot of times I will be confirming things that you already know, right? So these answers are coming from inside you. This is just clarity to do the things that you are called and purposed to do, right? So with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of my launch of Healthy Clarity. And I'm excited. You'll hear more from me on Healthy Clarity. And for those who came for the 536 show, it's coming up next. 536 show will be next. I'm going to change and get 536 show ready. But it's good to see everybody. Have a good evening. Happy Easter if you celebrate. Happy Ishtar. And, we can name all the holidays that today is. 420 day, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope you celebrate with people that you love and that your heart is full. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. Talk to you later. Bye.